Hi, my name is Wes Schaefer, and today we're going to be doing a downstream O2 sensor on a 2003 Toyota Sienna minivan. This should cover years 2001 through 2003. There is a poor design in that downstream sensor. Instead of being a screw-in type O2 sensor, it's a flange type. In warmer weather, it might be okay because the corrosion isn't there, but in the rust belt of the country, the nuts just freeze onto the studs and they pretty much crumble. You can't get them off. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that, and hopefully this will help you out. We'll improve the design so in the future, when you need to replace the sensor again, it'll be easy to get on and off. This is a standard type oxygen sensor that screws into a bung on your exhaust. This is the one we're dealing with today. This is a flange type that slips over two studs and is held down with two nuts onto a flange. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you two different types of splitters I use. First one is this ring type splitter. Slide over and we'll crack the nut off of one. Second one's going to be this C type splitter. We'll go over the other one and crack it off of that one to show you that both of them work. First thing we got to do is disconnect the battery. Just did that. Now we got to remove the passenger side seat. There's four 14mm bolts that hold it on. And two in the back. And now you can see the whole seat's loose. This is where the wiring for the oxygen sensor comes through the floor. What we have to do is separate this connection right here. There we go. And now we can go underneath the car. We can pop this right through. There we go. And these are 12mm nut heads. So I'm going to try moving them first. And right now I can feel they're just mushing around. Like this nut. Just got that nut split, and it took off enough pressure where you can get it off the rest of the way with the vice grips. And then we're going to start the next one right up on top. Using this other nut splitter up here. Should be through. I'll give it a couple hits of the chisel. Just split off the last nut on top, and now we can remove the sensor. Now here's where the trick's going to be. These studs are junk. I mean, we could rethread them, but I don't think it's a good idea. Never has been. We're going to replace those with bolts, but to get those out of there, we're going to torch that a little bit, get a little heat on the housing of the exhaust. We'll get that nice and hot, and after it's hot we're going to take a vice grips and we're going to remove the studs. I accidentally snapped off a little bit higher on the stud than I wanted to, but I still got it and I'm backing it out now. Just taking little bites, and if it starts to tighten up on you, go back tight and throw on some heat again. Now we're on the second one, and we're going to throw some heat on there for a while. We're backing up the second stud. We got those studs backed out. We're going to clean up that gasket surface. Putting some anti-seize on the threads of the bolts. The gasket's in place. You can see I'm not putting a whole lot of anti-seize on there. Just enough to coat the threads. That way when we have to disassemble this, it'll go pretty easy. Now we'll tighten this down. Now we can feed our electronics back up through the floor. Make sure when you get that boot pulled back in position that it seats around that open hole.